How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. So we have recently had double experience announced, and it kind of went under the rug. I know that I didn't know about it until today, and it has been 2 days ago since they announced it apparently, but heyo. Either way, it is going to be from August the 6th to August the 16th. So we have 10 days of double XP. You will have 48 hours of double XP time to spend in that 10 days. So you don't have to be on for 40 hours straight. Happy days. And this time we do only have 10 days and not, I think it was what, 21 last time that they did this. Either way, we've only got 10 days this time, which is what we were used to in the past, so that's back to normal. In this video, I just wanted to make a quick guide for double XP, I guess, or just talk about things that you should be considering when thinking about or planning out your double experience week, as I know a lot of people just instantly jump to the whole, it's double XP, do summoning, do herblore, only do that and just get them done because that's the most expensive things to do. There's other things to consider as well, and honestly this is some things that you probably should consider. So let's talk about that and let's see if we can make your double experience plans a little bit easier to make and maybe even give you a little bit of direction as well. If it helps, if you enjoy, leave a like, do subscribe to the channel if you're new, but otherwise that's long enough for the intro. Let's go. Alright, so to start off, I just want to say, for members, you will get 100%, so you will get double XP the whole way through, but as a free-to-play player, you will only receive 20%. So if you are free-to-play, it actually could be worth you trying your best to get a bond just for this double experience 10 days, because honestly, it will be really useful to you, and it will help out a hell of a lot. Also, to be fair, once you've got a bond in members, you can actually upkeep that pretty easily, and if you guys are interested, let me know in the comments. I could maybe make a video on talking about the best ways to upkeep bonds, seeing as at the moment, I only pay for my membership through bonds and I've never had an issue with it. Let me know. Either way, for a free-to-play player, I would highly suggest getting into a members account for that week if you can. It will help out a hell of a lot. Other than that, in this video, I'm going to break down what goals 3 different types of players should go for, really, because that's like the main thing that most people are going to be using double experience for, and that is going to be broken down into people who are trying to build an account just for PvM, people who are building an account that is just for skillers, and then for the people who just want to go for max, and then also, including in the same one, people who just have other goals in the game as well, like maybe a big quest line or something like that. That should make it a bit easier. There'll be timestamps in the description for it as well, so you can jump to the one that you need to go to if that is relevant to you. Otherwise, just listen through the whole thing. Maybe you'll get tips from each of them. But let's start off with the PvM Focused account, seeing as that's kind of one that I'm relevant with, I suppose. Okay, so if you are a PvMer, your main goal is literally just to get to the bosses and make your account as good as possible for killing those bosses. And at the moment, you are not too focused on anything other than that. You're not too fussed about like your skills. You're not too fussed about like going for max and all that sort of stuff. At the moment, all you want to do is get into these epic, amazing bosses. Then this is probably the best things that you want to do for your account. Now, things like combat, attack, melee, defense, range, and magic aren't that hard to level up. They're pretty quick. You can do it in ED3 if you wanted to with a group, where you're also getting things like charms, but you can get amazing experience per hour doing that. Or if you're lazy like me, you could literally just go to the Abyss and AFK there. Now be careful when you go to the Abyss, just a quick little tip. Don't take anything you don't want to lose in the wilderness. Maybe take like just 3 items, don't attack anyone, and just play it safe. If anyone offers to buy your spot, don't teleport out, don't listen to them, it's a lure. But other than that, just you can AFK in the Abyss, decent experience per hour, and you can definitely get 99s pretty damn quick. So what I would suggest is probably doing those off of double experience if you have any of the other ones I'm about to mention that you still need to do. Now, as a PvMer, there is a few skills that you're going to want to level up that take a long time to do, or they are very expensive to do. The skills that I would probably suggest that you guys focus on doing is summoning, herblore, and invention if you have it unlocked. If you don't have it unlocked, then I would suggest working on maybe the requirements to get it unlocked during double experience, as invention does give you perks that will help out so much for your PvM experience. The reason I would suggest you do these is summoning takes a lot of time to gather the charms, and not only that, it also costs a lot of money. So summoning I would 100% suggest you do, as it is time saved and it is money saved, and it just is such an amazing skill to have to go PvMing with. Having things like your Beast of Burden, trying to get 96 out of this to get Yak, and then also Ripper Demon at the exact same level will help you out a hell of a lot. 96 summoning is probably the goal I'll suggest most of you go for. Yak for learning bosses, plenty of food in there, you get another full inventory of food, and then not only that, if you use a Ripper Demon as well, this is not, you don't have any like requirements behind a Ripper Demon other than 96 summoning. You don't have to do archaeology, there's no quests, it is literally just 96 summoning and you can summon a Ripper Demon. This will be your best in slot summon familiar for most places. There's like next where you'll use a Nihil, there is maybe the times that you'll use a Yak while you're learning, but otherwise you are going to want to be on a Ripper Demon in like most places in the game. So I would highly suggest that you do focus on getting 96 summoning if you can. Gather up all your charms beforehand. You can use the RuneScape wiki calculator for the summoning calculator, and it'll tell you exactly how many charms you do need. Just enter your username in there, press look up, and it'll tell you exactly how many charms you need to get to your target. Herblore is another skill that is super important to get for PvMers, as it does give you the potions that you're going to need to have, and some of them are untradeable. Of course, most of you probably know this, that you're going to need to get overloads. Overloads are, I believe, 96 Herblore as well. This, however, can be boosted from 89 if you get the advanced pulse core, or from 90 if you have a spicy stew. I would probably suggest just using the pulse core though. If you are going to be boosting from 89, it just makes life a bit easier. Just AFK, wait for the boost. But I would suggest getting 96. The reason being is it makes your life a lot easier. You don't have to lobby every single time you've made like 2 inventories or something to keep your boost up, and it just makes it a lot easier. You can make them whenever you want without having to worry about the boost, which can take a few minutes to get. It's just convenient. I would suggest getting 96, and then also eventually you're going to want to upgrade that even further so that you can get things like Elder Overloads or Overload Salves, whatever suits you. But not only that, Herblore is going to provide you with things like Super Anti-Fire. It's going to provide you with things like Adrenaline Potions and eventually Adrenaline Renewals. You will need Herblore for a lot of reasons, and it is a super expensive skill. Keep in mind though that this is a fast skill, so if you do have access to a ton of money, like maybe some reason you have a ridiculous amount of money in game, then maybe it's worth working on something that is going to take a lot more time if you just have the money to waste, because time is money at the end of the day. So it does make sense that it is a super fast skill. If you have spare money that you really aren't too fussed about spending, then yes, you could save a lot of money doing Herblore and double experience, but you just have to weigh it up whether it's worth the time versus the money or not. But in my opinion, I would say you should probably do Herblore and double XP if you are just basically focusing on PvM. It is definitely going to be worth doing 100%. And finally, talking about the invention requirements, if you have access to invention, then I believe you do level up stuff twice as fast, so you can siphon them off and get your invention leveled up nice and quick that way. It's definitely worth doing to get access to those perks. But if you don't have access to it, as it does require 80 smithing, 80 divination and 80 crafting, then I would highly suggest that you work on those 3 skills to unlock invention, because honestly, if you are a PvMer, you want perks. They are amazing. They help you out a hell of a lot, and they can save your life in a lot of situations too if you have things like enhanced devotion. But work on that, get those done, get them out of the way, and then work on your invention as well, because like I said, it's going to help out a lot. That's pretty much it for PvM. Once you've done those, then I guess you work on other things that you need, probably your combat stats at this point, or if you have any quest requirements that you're after, then maybe consider looking at those as well. Another option could be to look at archaeology. Maybe you could level up archaeology to unlock some perks from there too. That could be worth doing. So just keep in mind that there's a few things that around there that isn't just combat stats. Don't just go in there, don't just focus on those, but that's probably the goal and the aim that you're going to want to do as a PvMer. Alright, next up I wanted to mention what I would suggest doing for skillers, but in all honesty guys, and I will be completely honest with you, I am not a skiller in any way, any shape, any form, other than the fact that I went for max. Now, this is something that I've got a little bit of experience from because of that, and I know that I wish I'd done certain things, or I wish that I'd done it a certain different way than I did, because honestly, time really is money, and I've learned that since. But basically, what I'm talking about is, as a skiller, it probably depends on 2 things. Do you have lots of time and no money? Or do you have lots of money and no time? If you have both, then hey, it doesn't really matter. You're probably better off saving the time, in my opinion, but we'll get to that. But basically, if you are someone that has lots of money but not so much time, then what I would suggest you do is all of these skills that are going to take you a long time to do, the tedious ones, the ones that are like rune crafting, the ones that are like wood cutting, and the really slow, boring skills, the ones that you are not going to want to do normally, the ones that you are dreading. If there's anything that you are thinking like, I just don't want to do that, I've been putting it off for so long, double experience is the time to do it. Because if you have to spend, say, 40 hours doing rune crafting to get your level up, then you're just really putting it off. In double experience, you would only have to put in 20 hours. Now, I know that still sounds like 20 hours of rune crafting. What the hell? That's 20 more hours you've saved yourself though. And you need to think about the fact that if you do have lots of money, like 20 hours is some great time that you just saved, especially if you're someone who has lots of money but not so much time, because time is money, and in that time that you've saved, you can then spend that making more money or doing more skills. Like, it is really good to save yourself that time. Now you may be thinking, damn, but 20 hours, that's a lot of my double experience that I've just lost just doing rune crafting. I've only got one thing up. I could have done Herblore, I could have done summoning, I could have done, just keep in mind, those skills are quick. Those skills are quick, and if you've got loads of money already, then you're better off saving that time, because in those 20 hours that you've done, you could actually spend that doing the summoning, doing the herb lore, doing all the fast skills, and you probably could have got that in the 20 hours anyway once you're out of double experience. Of course, it's going to cost you more money, but if money's not the issue, then I would suggest that you do the long, tedious skills that you're putting off during double XP, so you're spending less time doing those things that you really don't want to do. As for the people who have way more time but just seem to not have as much money, for some reason you guys just seem to always have a little bit less money than you'd like, and you kind of wish that you had more. If you have plenty of time, obviously you're going to want to focus on the things that are going to cost you quite a lot of money. Focus on the expensive skills, focus on herb lore, focus on construction, all that sort of stuff. Yes, it'll be fast, you'll get through it even quicker, but because you're halving the time, you're halving the materials you need, you're also going to halve the cost. So say it costs 80 mil, on double XP, it's probably only going to cost you 40 mil. Obviously, the prices may go up, but if you prepare now, if you get in and buy stuff a little bit earlier, make sure you buy the things as cheap as you can, then you are going to half the amount of money you have to spend on that skill. Now, there's not really much more I'm going to talk about for skillers, because I'm not a skiller, and there's probably other stuff that's maybe able to be taken into account. So any skillers that are watching, if you have any tips, if there's anything specific that is super helpful for you guys to do on double XP, please do share in the comments. I'm sure it'll help somebody out, and I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, basically, if you have lots of money, save yourself some time. If you have lots of time, save yourself some money. Okay, last but absolutely not least, we have people who want to go for max and people who just have other goals in the game that aren't necessarily, I need to get PvM ready and I'm not just a skiller. Now, this is probably going to continue on from what I've just mentioned with the skillers. If you have time, then save money. If you have money, then save time. But at the same time, focus on things that are going to help you out on other things as well. So, for example, if you are going for max and you're looking at your skills and you are seeing you've got to do construction, and yes, you've got the money for it, you've got the time for it, but you just really don't want to do it, get that done in double XP, because one, it's going to save you a hell of a lot of time on doing something you just don't enjoy doing, and just get it out of the way. Honestly, just get it out of the way. But things that you should consider is, what does your account need? If you are not literally only one skill, 2 skills off max, you may still be in a position where you may be struggling for money to fund stuff, and that might be because your account isn't PvM ready. So for example, if you do need a lot of money and you don't have, say, 96 summoning and 96 herb lore for overloads and the yak and stuff, then get that done. Focus on that stuff first, because that way, once double experience ends, you can spend the next lot of time between this double XP and the next double XP getting your account ready for that one, because you're PvM ready now. You can go ahead, put in plenty of time to make the money. You've given yourself more options in the game to get your account in a position. The next double XP, you can blast out more stuff because you've made yourself plenty of money and you can dump it into other skills. Continuing on to that, there may be other things in the game that unlock if you do invest some time into specific skills. For example, if you don't already have invention to the max level, then I would suggest getting 120 invention, because it's going to help you out so much. Like, it's going to help you out so damn much when you start putting these perks on, trying to roll for perks. Having 120 invention helps a lot. And though you may be PvM ready in the aspect of the other skills that I mentioned, you may want to get this up so you can do other bosses easier, or maybe you can start AFKing stuff, making your life a lot easier in different places, saving yourself on supplies. It all adds up in the long run, and by the next double experience, you could have made a lot more money to dump into stuff that even would save you time. For example, you may be able to pay for the most expensive method, which is the fastest method on a skill, rather than having to sort of cheap it out and save yourself some time that way as well. A good example of this would be if you get your account ready to do bossing, you get yourself a nice good drop of maybe a couple 100 mil, and then you can dump that into getting dinosaur bones for prayer rather than using dragon bones. Of course, prayer doesn't work on double XP, so you would have to do that off of double experience anyway, but it takes a long time to do. Dragon bones on an altar is nowhere near as good experience as dinosaur bones. You're going to be paying a lot more for the dinosaur bones, but if you've got the money for it, you save the time, it's definitely worth doing. So people going for max, aim for the stuff that you really don't want to do, get it out of the way, and then you can enjoy the normal time, the time that you have to invest more, you can enjoy that more, and it'll make it less tedious and less chance to burn yourself out. Keep in mind things that will help your account, and then just go for that as well. Next up, people who just have other goals. Maybe you are wanting to work towards the Prifdana city, so you want to unlock the Plague's End quest. There's a lot of requirements behind that, and even if you are someone who wants to max and you're still quite a low level, then doing things like this rather than just going, yeah, let me get 399s, let me just do that, it would honestly be more beneficial for you to probably level up your skills and get the requirements for that quest line ready. When you finish double experience, you can finish that quest line off before you go for your 99s. If you come out of double experience with 99 fire making and 99 cooking, but you still want to go to Prif afterwards, and then you still have to do all the other requirements out of double XP, that is going to take a lot longer than it would have if you just AFK the fire making and the wood cutting or whatever it was that you ended up doing. So I would suggest that you keep in mind any future quests that are in your way that you want to get done. Maybe you want to get the ancient curses, maybe you want to get to Prifdanis like I said, or maybe there's just some other stuff that you want to work towards. Honestly, work towards those skill requirements during double XP, get them out of the way, and then once you've done with your double XP, you can hop on that and get the quest done. Also, you could even get it done during double XP because you can pause the timer. So, get your quest requirements, pause the timer, get the quest banged out, and then you can use Prif to get even better XP while you're AFK in there. So just keep in mind things that may help your account in the long run, rather than just being like, yep, I got 299s this double XP, and the next one I'm going to get another 2, and they're all the easy ones. But if you can get your account in a position where for the next few months before the next double experience you're enjoying the game a lot more, you don't have as much grind to do, that is definitely a good way to spend your double experience time as well. Alright, so that does bring us to the end of the video. There's not really much else for me to say. Of course, you don't have to follow this to the dot. It's probably going to be more beneficial for you to just look at your account, figure out what the best path is, and then hopefully this video has helped you in understanding a path that will make more sense though. So I hope it has helped. If it does, then do leave a like on the video. That way YouTube will suggest it to more people as well. Also leave a comment, let me know that it did help, or if you have any other tips for other people, that get down there as well and let them know too. Before we do end, I do have a Twitch link in the description below if you're interested in following me live on Twitch. Also, our clan is still recruiting if you are interested. The best way to join will be just to join as a guest and ask for an invite. Our clan name is called The Init, so it'll be on screen for you somewhere. Absolutely anybody is welcome. Level 3 or max, it does not make a difference. You are absolutely welcome. Thank you all so much to my channel members for your continued support. You guys are, of course, absolutely awesome. Your names will be on screen now, and I really do appreciate it. Anyone else that is interested in joining these guys, then there is a join button by the sub button. Give that a click and have a look and see if there's any perks there that interest you while you also support the channel. And finally, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.